briefly, 4 minutes, I want to introduce our organization, Germany Trade and Invest. We're the inward investment and export promotion agency of the German government. We belong to the Ministry of the Economy of Germany, and we promote Germany as a business, as a location for doing business, and we also help German companies to export their products to foreign markets. So we do the inward and the outward business promotion. We are here at the Web 2.0 show with a booth number 415. And we're here because for the inward investment, we think that Germany has got great opportunities to offer in the space of internet, and specifically in the space of social internet. So I'm providing here just a couple of very macro data, just to give you some of the numbers that we're building on, which are, of course, 60 million out of 80 million population, 60 million people online in Germany. That being the biggest online community, so to say, in Europe. Then we've got an e-commerce market that will have a volume of nearly 800 billion euros by 2010. So this is still growing fastly, and 90% of which is B2B. We've got 8.6 million social networking users at the moment, which are going to be 21.7 million by 2012. And this, of course, also shows the great potential that we see in the field of Web 2.0, of Enterprise 2.0, and social media and social internet. And all of this is driven by, of course, technology and hardware. So broadband is going to grow to 80% in the next years, which is, of course, one of the underlying technologies driving all these trends. Well, there's something missing here. Oh. As I said, we're here. We have a booth at the show, booth number 415. Please come and see us there. We would like to, of course, explain more about our services, which are, to put it in a nutshell, on the one hand, we work on strategic issues with foreign investors that want to establish their business or that have an interest to establish their business in Germany. So we can provide market research, competitive analysis, everything that has to do with getting a feel and grasp of your competitive field. This could also include identifying cooperation partners, etc. And then, of course, another part would be all the organizational issues that companies will face when going into Germany, which will include more of the legal framework, the tax framework, financing and incentives, and also project management. Depending on where you are, where you stand with your project, we are very flexible to facilitate you in the different ways, always with the goal of making your entry to Germany, bringing your company to Germany and making that entry as successful as possible. Please come and visit us as a booth, discuss your project, discuss your business models. We're hugely interested to find companies that are currently considering to further expand their business, internationalize their business, and we're happy to tell you more about what we can offer and what Germany has to offer. It's not only I that's going to be at the booth 415. I'm a project manager from ICT from Berlin. We also have a representative here from San Francisco. It's Miss Angelika Geiger. So she's on site. She's got an office here in San Francisco. Then we are sponsored. Actually, I didn't say that. We belong, or we are publicly funded by the Ministry of the Economy. So we have a representative, Mr. Leibrand, here from the ministry. so to say, the sponsors of our organization. And then on the stand, on the booth, we also cooperate with one of the best and leading research institutes from Germany, the Fraunhofer Institute. Fraunhofer Institute, HAI, which are going to show parts of the project from the Theseus project, Semantic Web, and please come, that's very interesting to see. We've got two screens, two examples from their project, which are about semantic web and intelligent search engines. Booth number 415.
So, next one who's presenting with Maranko. What? Here?
Hi, I'm Alex from Berlin Partner. We are Berlin's economic development agency, so we work closely together with Henri and his colleagues who are doing what we are doing in a similar way on a federal level. We have a booth as well. So when you come to us, we will send you over to Henri and vice versa. We are here for the third year in a row, and I think this is the third Web Monday we are doing together here with Tim and some of you, some of the faces I recognize. We brought Berlin-based companies with us as well, like Fraunhofer. On our booth you will find Metaversum, which is Mirko, raise your hand. And we have Berlin Partner, that's me. Economic Development, we have people from Solid Ground or Solid Media. Where's Oliver and JT? Raise your hand. Okay. We have Ralph Otto. Where are you? Okay. And we do have the ZAB, which is the Economic Development Agency of Brandenburg in the surrounding state of Berlin. Where's Ottmar? Raise your hand. At the back? Okay. These are the companies which will be at our booth. Then Metaversum will introduce themselves. You hear about Berlin Partner, Solid Ground, Solid Media. They are doing business development and technology expansion into Europe and Germany. Ralph Otto does tax consulting, and ZAB and Berlin Partner doing economic development for the capital region, Berlin and Brandenburg. From Berlin as well, GTA has the head office in Berlin, Fraunhofer, the institute as well, and we have Xenox. They have their own booth. It's an online advertising network. Something else which I wanted to tell you, that the Web 2.0 Expo was twice in Berlin. They had the European version in Berlin. This year, unfortunately, due to the crisis, I would say they won't come to Europe at all. Let's hope that in 2010, 2010, they're going to come back. That's what I hope. Last year, we introduced, when the Web 2.0 Expo of O'Reilly was in Berlin, we introduced the Berlin Web Week, which is basically a portal where you can find everything you want to know about web-related events in Germany. So when you're going to travel to Berlin, we have like every week 2 to 5 or even more events which are web-related, and we call this the Berlin Web Week, which the portal runs the whole year, and we are going to have a dedicated week of web-related events around the Webinale at the end of May, where I expect up to 10 or 12 events which are web-related, like the Web Monday as well, and many others. Berlin, just a couple of words. Berlin is the capital, but also the capital of startups. We have, I think, the highest number of startups, companies in the web sector. They are located here. This is something where we have even more than Munich and Hamburg, which are strong in that area as well. I think the ICT sector, including the web industry, is one of the industries which are developing fastest in Germany. I get often asked why. I think there are 3 main reasons. Berlin is a very creative city. It's easy to find personnel there or to convince people to come. And the price levels are really, really low, so you can do experimenting there. What we are doing, so we're going a little bit deeper, and that's why we work together with Germany Trade and Invest, because we actually look for the actual offices, we help with visa issues, we get you the subsidies you need, And we find here the people together with, let's say, sort of public personnel agencies. And if you want to test Berlin, that's very easy. We have a program where you can come to Berlin for 3 months. And that's the actual service where you have to pay something. Usually our services are free, but there you have to pay, let's say, roughly 2.500 to 3,000 euros for 3 months, and you get an office and an apartment together. And you can check out Berlin. Yeah, that's it. Contact me if you have any questions or come to Germany Trade Invest or our booth. We'll be there for the whole weekend. Thank you.
All right, so the third one from Berlin up front, Mirko Kasper from Metaversum. And we have developed a 3D world called Twinity, which is currently in beta with about a little over 100,000 users. And when we founded Metaversum 2.5 years ago, we basically looked at two trends on the web. Web 2.0, socializing, social communities, is obviously a very big one and has been around for quite some time. And if you look what people are doing on the web, if they use 2.0 application, it's basically a lot of sharing information in text or video or any other media format with people they know on the web. What they do not share is any type of experience, right? And you can just share stuff, but you don't feel that there's anyone else on the web right now with you there. If you look at another trend, that is 3D entertainment and the gaming sector, right? That's where people engage and interact with each other and they share experiences. But they do it in an environment that is 100% fantasy oriented, with people they don't know the real names of. It's fantasy avatars and fantasy environments. So 2.5 years ago we thought, well, we should mesh that up, right? The next big thing, either coming from the web or coming from 3D environments, is make that real. Make a 3D environment that is based on true cities and populate that world with a 3D community based on real people. And that's why we founded Metaversum, built Twinity. It's a virtual world built on real cities that are built true to scale. We use Google Maps in-world, so you can browse the cities, and they're inhabited by a worldwide population of real people. You just upload a photo and create an avatar and share whatever you want to share and inform and engage and emotionally encounter and interact with other people. And I just want to give you a glimpse of how that looks. It's twinity.com, twinity.com, and this is how it looks. It usually has music, which makes it much more emotional. I'm not a good singer, so I'll spare you the audio experience. This is actually how Berlin looks. If you travel to Berlin virtually, you get all those info booths at the highlight sites. One of our partners, Berlin.de, is there providing all the information. Very easy to create an avatar. You just upload a photo, and there you have a realistic avatar. And that, just as in any other virtual world, you can just pimp the avatar, dress it how you want it, style it. This is the Hackscher Höfe, or whoever has been there. It's a local district where there's bars, clubs. You can rent an apartment and decorate that with your friend, whoever, your family. And there you can share any type of media, live, direct. You can decorate your apartment together. It's very easy to upload any type of media. You just right-click on anything, any frame, whatever, upload any type of media, video, photo. You can share it with the rest of the world, basically. We have voice chat, we have text chat, anything that you need to interact with others. Obviously, you can shop and dress your avatar. You don't want to look like a bum in a virtual world. There are cinemas, museums, whatever your taste is. And actually, we think that's That's where a lot of the web is going to go. Share not only information but experiences. It's one of the best clubs. It's the Weekend Club. They have a rooftop terrace with a view over Berlin. It's cool virtually, but it's better real. Yeah, you can check a lot of furniture, see how they look that you cannot afford in real life probably. And you can actually buy real stuff as well. So this is a gallery, for example. You can just look at the stuff and test hang it into your apartment, but then click on it and buy it for real. It's going to be delivered to your home. Yeah, we're going to release London and Singapore this year and see how it goes and then deliver it to New York City. We are at the booth of Berlin Partner 328, is that?
Yeah.
If you want to check it out and have a little live trip into virtual Berlin, you're welcome to do so. Thank you.
It's my turn. So, hi everybody. My name is Mike from Doodle. I feel a little bit awkward now after this presentation with the video because we don't have that sexy a video. But anyway, we do scheduling. We really focus on that problem, finding a date and time for any kind of group event, whether it's a family barbecue, a conference call, a business meeting, or whatever. The problem is this. You want to meet up with 2, 3, 5, 6, 10 people. And you know the problem, you've got to do phone calls, you've got to do emails, whatever. Somebody has to manually coordinate all this information. And Doodle is a really focused, easy to use web application which allows you to remove the manual coordination and replace it by a web application that's free to use. It doesn't even require you to register. You don't have to download anything. You just go there and use it. As an initiator, you set up a so-called poll where you offer a number of time slots where you want the meeting or event to happen. You send a unique link to your participants and they can indicate their availabilities there. And Doodle always tabulates all the answers and indicates the best option for the event to happen. Those of you who use a calendar, maybe Yahoo Calendar, where is he, or whatever, I had a discussion before, there he is. Doodle is not a calendar, and we explicitly don't want to build a calendar. We want to position ourselves as a proxy between calendars. So with Doodle you can connect people who don't share the same calendar or who don't even use a calendar or don't use an electronic calendar. We're available in almost 30 languages. This is a few months old. This was our footer then. This is like, I don't know, 20 languages. We're now at almost 30. So we're pretty internationalized. We also support scheduling across time zones, which is important in the US, which is not that important in Switzerland. We only have one time zone there, but it's important if you schedule an international meeting. And with all that, we're pretty successful. This is our growth rate over the last 24 months. You can't see the bottom here, but it's supposed to be the 24 months. And we're currently at about more than 2.5 million users each month. Just to give you a short impression of our latest developments, this is what such a Doodle poll looks like. And what you normally would do, you would just enter here your name. Let's say it's myself, MN, and you give your indications as a manual process. But we also integrate into Outlook as a first step. We're going to integrate into more calendars later this year. And with this integration, you can suggest, and what it does now, it looks up my calendar information in Outlook, and it indicates what my availabilities are. So this poll is already filled out now, and I can see why it has filled out that way. So this meeting, or this slot here, doesn't work for me because at that point I'm supposed to fly to Amsterdam, which is Easter Monday. And this year, this gives me a warning because it's directly adjacent to my meeting with Mr. X, whom I don't know. So I can have this information here, I can override some information, and then I can save, and I can also synchronize the information to my Outlook calendar, which should be here somewhere. So what happens then, it books tentative meetings into my Outlook calendar, so I'm always up to date. And of course, when the poll's finished and the final date is picked, all these tentative events get removed and the final date is fixed. For all those who don't use Outlook, we also offer an ICS feed which allows you to incorporate your calendar information into your calendar, whether it's iCal or Google Calendar or Sunbird or whatever, using our optional registration, our optional account, which gives you a dashboard that you can see here, but which also gives you the opportunity to subscribe to an ICS feed, which I can show you here. So you get a unique link where you can just subscribe to all the calendar information that's stored in Doodle. And just to finish up, for those of you, maybe I should switch to the English interface here. It would make it a little bit easier for some of you. For those of you who are developers and who are quick to develop stuff, we also launched an API a few weeks ago, and we're accompanying this launch with a contest which has a deadline at April 14th. So whoever wants to pay Zurich a visit, which we would pay, is invited to submit an application to our API. Thanks.
Hi, I'm John from Apture, and Stefan. I'm originally from Vienna, Austria, so that's kind of my connection to Web Monday. And as soon as this is plugged in, we'll get started. Okay, so we're from a small company called Apture, and what we do is we help bloggers and publishers really, really easily layer in content from all around the web into their site with just point and click. And the key difference between Apture and just like kind of linking regular links is that when you click on these links, you can actually stay on the same page that you're on. So I'll show you an example. In the United States, obviously, when you have kind of the Obama administration has this new initiative to make government more transparent. Wouldn't it be great if you could access everything that happens in government without leaving the page that you're on? So say you're on this page reading about the US Senate, and you click on Barbara Boxer. You click, and you can actually open up this little informational window about who Barbara Boxer is. And you can click and open up a photograph and see who she is. Let's see here. And then you can go into, say, her latest videos. And notice I'm never leaving the page. I can open up her videos. I can go back. I can see her Twitter feed. So without leaving the page, I can see exactly what's going on in her life. I can listen to what she has to say about the AIG. And it's all without leaving the page that you're on. So one other example is what if you could click on a document, and without leaving the page, you could open up an entire House resolution that's passing in the Senate, right? So you could imagine reading the document, and I can read the bill, and wouldn't it be great to say, what are people saying on Twitter about the bill right now, right? See, what are human beings around the world talking about this bill? And here's a guy, Adrian Saya, and they're talking about the bill. If I click on him, I can actually see his profile. He's from Boulder, Colorado. What if I could say, well, where's Boulder, Colorado? Shows me the map, right? So it's like the entire web wrapped around you. Now, how do you actually create this experience? When you're in your editing environment, right? You're doing a blog post, and you want to link up Tim Boneman. So you select his name. That's Tim over there. And if you say, I want to link up Tim, it automatically does a search, I'll do it again, across all the media around the web related to Tim. So here we have, I'll zoom in for you, Wikipedia and Twitter with videos from about 10 different sources. We have images from all around the web. We have news articles, web pages, maps, music, and slideshows. So you can see slideshare presentations. So say I find a really video that I like, and here's this Bed Montags, right? So I can go in, and it has this little introduction. I don't really want to see that. I want to point to right when Tim was saying something really interesting. So I don't know if you can tell, the brightness isn't very good, but that's him speaking right there, right? So if I want to link to this moment, I just dive in and say I want to link to 52 seconds up until when he said something interesting about 1 minute and 10 seconds. So I press link, and with one click it gets linked into his name, right? So now if I press, you can see over here, if I press preview, it's going to publish the page, and there's his name. And if I click on his name, the video plays, and watch what happens. It jumps up ahead to 52 seconds. You can see exactly when he was saying something that he meant, right? Now say you want to add something else. You can press the E key on your keyboard, and it goes into editor mode here. This little dashboard appears. So Tim's an interesting guy. I want to link something else. I'll click Add Related Media, and it lets me do a search again for Tim Boneman. And maybe I want to link to his Twitter profile, so I'll search on Twitter. That's him. I'll press link. With one click, that's linked, and then I'll link this photograph from Flickr. And without leaving the page, anybody who now comes to this page can click on Tim. They can see what he has to say. They can open up his Twitter profile so they can see where he's from. He's from San Jose. And they can learn all about Tim without ever leaving where they are. So this is on the New York Times, the Washington Post, and it's free for bloggers. So you can go to appsure.com and you can get it today. Thank you very much. No, it's a WordPress plugin. It works all blogging platforms, all CMS platforms. It's like a script tag, and if you have, so it's like a script tag or a blogger plugin. So if you go to appsure.com, you can get it for WordPress, Tumblr, Typepad.
All your visitors see it, so they don't have to.
Right. So it's not a browser plugin. It's not something that only people who download something can see. Everyone who goes to the New York Times can see the experience.
All of the New York Times using
No, we launched on 3 blogs of the New York Times, and we're live across all of Washington Post. So starting to roll out of the New York Times.
Basically a whiteboarding application is trying to take your regular physical whiteboard, put it on a software version that you can then use for remote collaboration. It's web-based. Anybody with a browser, desktop or laptop can use it. So compared to other, can anyone hear me? Okay. So I mean, there've been other whiteboard applications in the past. If you use like a WebEx or something, they've never really been usable. So nobody really uses them. The idea here is that there's a few interface innovations to make it more usable so that you actually have an alternative to the physical whiteboard. So just as an example, suppose you wanted to draw like a flowchart or something. I'm doing this with one hand on a standard touchpad. I could just start drawing, I can click anywhere and start typing. I could, on arrow mode, I can start doing the rest of it.
the idea is it's a more fluid way of drawing because it does shape recognition for most common shapes. That up. And it's all vector based, so you have things like unlimited undo and so on and so forth. So it's kind of like a Visio type interface. You could select things, move them around. I could take this, I could move it, I could scale it, I could replicate it, etc. Let me go all the way back to the beginning. Let's say you wanted to draw a networking diagram. You could just search for network objects, take either images or make a laptop diagram, and you can quickly make, I guess, your cloud. And the idea is you make it really fast for you to draw so that you would actually use it in a real live meeting. It's also very easy to add stuff to your library. If I wanted to use this in the future, I could just drag it over and it's there permanently. So, and you have other kind of typical collaborative features, like you have your TalkBox currently through TalkBox, video chat currently through TalkBox, but we're building on one as well. Regular chat, you can just share this link with someone for them to also collaborate. You can insert documents, which is you can insert any sort of PowerPoint or other documents, and then you can have some synchronized presentation, which is like the typical WebEx use case. WebEx and other applications, I think, are too focused on the webinar concept, not really on the collaborative meetings. And the idea, what we're really going for is how do you replicate the experience of a few people in a cube or in a small conference room, really brainstorming ideas. And I think whiteboard is a key component of that. It is a component, not the only component. We find like a lot of people, even though we have TalkBox integrated, they're using Skype for their actual video and voice chat. So we're also kind of in development. We're also building our own integrated version of that with peer-to-peer video conferencing, and I could turn it on and show it if I guess we need a couple of laptops to show it, and we'll be having desktop sharing like WebEx and all as well. So that's it. Are there any questions?
Money.
What's the business model? So there's a free version, and in fact, even if you're a paying member, if you send the link to someone, they don't even have to sign up. They can rig up the meeting right away. If I copy this over, and if I for instance, I guess I've already opened it here. So this is my Firefox window is the same thing. So even if I do that again, it would just load up and load up the drawing. There are also paid versions for things like HTTPS access, SVG export. People who want some more control over their data would have to pay like a monthly subscription fees. And for it hasn't really caught on much yet, but for enterprises, we'll be offering like on-premise installations as well. So.
Can you export the interface or the actual drawing?
Yes. So both free and paid versions have the like the image export, so you can put it into your document, and the paid version has the SVG as well, so you can put it into Visio or Illustrator or any other drawing application and modify it as well. Anything else? Cool. That's it. Well, thanks a lot.
We're both from one of HHI, the front of our institute located in Berlin. We're going to show you some of our video and image search technologies. We're presenting our demonstrators at Web 2.0 Expo at the Germany Trade and Invest booth, which is 415. So how does it fit into the Web 2.0 world? People love to upload their videos and their images. That's a real fun, but they don't want to annotate it
take it and make descriptions. So if you want to search, you're going to search on the real content, on the images, the videos, and not the metadata, because people don't want to type the metadata in. The first technology that I want to show you is what we call video footprint. It's basically an ID that you generate from the video content itself, and it allows you to find identical videos, even if the video is distorted in some way, which means that it's re-encoded with a different bitrate, with different blocking artifacts, if you have a noise in it. And we're not searching in this product for similar files, we're looking for the identical files. And the point is that with the identical file, you can find, for instance, a copyright infringement. If you know in your database the copyrighted video has been uploaded and you want to avoid that somebody uploads that again, you can easily check it. You can check your archives. If some video, if a video has been uploaded several times, you can reduce the space that you need on your hard disk and remove the duplicates. And you can check, for instance, a broadcast video, if your advertisement has been sent or how many times it has been sent.
Okay. Next thing we do is we have some temporal video segmentation. Where we base on the shots in the video, we can group the video into its parts, so we can detect like hard cuts, fades, wipes in the video. So if you have a long movie, we can get the basic units again. We group them together to the scenes. We can find subshots in very long movies, like very long shots. For example, if you see YouTube, somebody's doing a very long video with his mobile or so, we can find subparts in it. And this actually allows for very fast navigation in the videos, and we can also do a very well done keyframe selection, for example. So this is very good for like getting through your archives. Things like this one. We're also doing image retrieval, where we get a very small metadata set from images in your image database, and then we can find similar images where you can either pick one image and find similar ones, or you can also pick multiple images, and the algorithm will find out what kind of image feature you are actually paying attention to. This is actually not based on any annotation, so it goes very well together with text. For example, text propagation or auto-tagging, it's completely working together. You don't need any text, you can enhance your information actually by using this as well. And we're also working on the face detection. And the face detection here is designed specifically to work in very hard conditions, like finding profile faces, faces in like dark conditions, blurred pictures, things like this. So this was a very fast forward version.
Okay, so last slide. What are we looking for here? Is actually to find people who build such portals where people have uploaded their videos or their images, and who have the databases where we can search on, and you can influence our research and your partners here if you're interested in the technology. Just come to Booth 415, we have demonstrators there, starting tomorrow until Friday.
So actually all the stuff we showed here in the slides, you can see it live actually from tomorrow on the expo.
Last one, right? Cool. Sweet.
Berlin. This is Candide Kemmler. We're here to present Twitbook. Twitbook is a Twitter search engine. It's very simply that, except our goal is to, we feel that before you can personalize something, you have to make it personal. So Candide and I have been independently together collaborating on something we call a personal cloud. We have some core research in this area, and we have some interesting partnerships. Twitbook is our first foray into a commercial application of some of our core research. And we simply said that we'll start out and allow people to have another way to take the data that's coming through their stream of Twitter activity and utilize it more effectively. So this is a fairly new application, so we definitely would appreciate feedback and ideas. We're just kind of about to launch it. It's not live. So the first thing it does is it goes and gets your Twitter stream. It's going to index all of the content in your Twitter feed, your direct messages, the tweets themselves, and the actual content of the links. So the premise is that not everyone has time to pay attention to Twitter all day long. Some certainly do. But the idea is that if you are out and about and doing stuff, going to meetings all day, the idea is that you feel that at least you're able to leverage your network of Twitter stream data that you've set up to leverage in the future. So the first thing we do, you'll notice, is that we denormalize URLs, and that's something we're thinking about building an API to. And basically, you can search just about anything. Okay, so basically any keyword is going to allow you to search and go back to that. We have integration with Facebook working. It's not that interesting just because what we basically have done with Facebook, it allows you to go in and match profile data of all of your contacts. We're talking with LinkedIn about licensing their API that will basically go in, match any of not your contacts, but your contacts' contacts, and display information about any embedded content in essentially metadata in your Twitter feed that you may not know exists. So LinkedIn is a great platform, but you don't really necessarily have all the time to go out and proactively search. So this gives you an opportunity while you're looking at your stream of data to utilize your sort of profile efficiently. And we have a partnership, just to give you a sense of where we're trying to go. We have an advisor who works in the semantic web space, working something called the information economy meta language that we're basically working to integrate this as well. So we're really hoping for a fundamentally personal web experience as opposed to just a personalized one. And this is our first entry into a consumer application that will allow that for users.
Okay. So are you launching today at this event?
I guess.
Is it open? Can people go to it?
.com. I mean, it doesn't really do that much right now. It'll just basically index your tweets, and we're definitely going to start ramping up these other features. Facebook, we have that integration working, but it's really not that interesting just to see the same faces of your friends who work at Google, Facebook, and Twitter come up all the time, because that's always the content that is referenced. So the idea is to kind of allow you to go one step further, and Facebook doesn't allow you to persist profile data. So we're definitely getting into a lot of these issues as far as how people manage their profile and profile ownership data and things like that. So we're really trying to push the envelope and the overall goal is to basically give people their own really personal private space in the cloud that they can utilize going forward.
Thank you.
I think that was it, right? The last ones. Well, thank you. Hope you liked it. There's still pizza and drinks, and we don't have a curfew, so you can hang around and enjoy yourself. The next one is probably going to be in July in Palo Alto again. You'll find it if you're on Facebook or on upcoming. You'll see it. There's a